Uh, Blow it up in the chat. My favorite thing to have for dinner is Olive Garden. I love Olive Garden, which I know is like not real Italian food, but I love it. It's delicious. Some cereal with cold milk. I love that. Yeah, that makes me hungry. Homemade salad, ramen noodles. Yum. Olive Garden. Yes, we have some Olive Garden friends. Love it. Seafood, chicken Alfredo. Awesome. Chicken Alfredo, tanga. Yum, yum, yum. Seafood. I love it. Francis, if you could have Seabass try to use the same numbers, like to log in using his app, use the same numbers as last week, that'd be great. Pozole, yum. And then Francis, if it doesn't work, he can go ahead and get started on his work on Canvas. Everything's there for him today. Filipino food, yes, love it. Yum. Oh, here he is. We got him. Awesome. We're ticking up there. Did you guys know the original TV dinner took 25 minutes to cook? I was looking at the history of TV dinners. Can you imagine waiting for your TV dinner, like this like thing that's supposed to cook now, for like 3 minutes in the microwave? It used to take 25 minutes. That would be like making a regular dinner. That is very slow. So weren't the TV dinners made originally because of large amounts of leftovers? Oh, I don't know that fact. But yeah, maybe that would make sense. They took 25 minutes to cook because you had to cook them in the oven because microwaves weren't invented yet. And they're actually not called TV dinners anymore. They're like frozen dinners or something, because they wanted to help people think about like eating them not in front of the TV, because in like the 50s and 60s when the TV was new, it was very common for people to eat in front of the TV. I don't know if that's common for you. I know that in my family, it was like a special treat to get to eat in front of the TV because my parents didn't like the TV very much. But yeah, that's it. Today is National TV Dinner Day. Very, very interesting. I have tried Maggiano's. I love me some Maggiano's as well. All right. Today we're going to talk about college reps. We're going to do our notes, and then we'll do assignment 7. We are all together today. So my ACC friends, you can stay with me. My accelerated friends are staying with us. We have college reps, the notes, and then the assignment. The reason we're talking about college rep visits is because our PT this semester, it's going to be a semester-long PT. Our PT is going to be around colleges and their logos and graphic design. So if you like any of those things, it's going to be your jam. If you don't, it'll still be your jam. It's my favorite PT. I love this PT. So part of your PT is going to be to go to do some college research, right? To do some college research. If you would like to go to a college rep visit to do research, then that can take the place. So if you go to a college rep visit, then you'll just like have that section already done. If you would prefer to not go to a college rep visit and you just want to do like research on your own about something else, then there will be that option as well. But I want to highlight some of the colleges that are coming this week so that you can get a jump start on your PT if you wish. So Boston College is coming today. You probably saw it in your sign-in form. You can still go even if you didn't sign up this morning. You can just email Ms. Crenshaw and she'll let you go. So Boston University, I went to Harvard, for those of you who don't know, which is also in Boston. So Boston University, some of my friends went to Boston University. Very cool. We also have an alum at Boston University. So very cool to do that. That's at 3 o'clock today. If you're interested in staying in state, we have Pepperdine coming tomorrow. Pepperdine is beautiful. It's in Malibu. So you'd be close to home, but you would still be like near the ocean and like a different life. The Pepperdine Waves, they are coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. And so they will be in your check-in form as well. They might have already been in your check-in form, I'm not sure. And then finally, next Tuesday, I mean, there are tons of colleges coming, but these are just the ones in the next couple, like before I see you next. Vanderbilt is coming next Tuesday at 12:45, so like during your lunch advisory kind of time. And Vanderbilt is in, oh no, Tiffany Segovia is gonna kill me. I can't remember what, it's in the South. I can't remember. Tiffany really wants to go there, so that is her. She's a senior. She's very excited about it. It's a really, really great school. It's a high level school. So if you're someone who has like A's and B's, Vanderbilt would be an excellent option. It's in the South, has a long history of being great. So it's in Nashville. Thank you, Jasmine. Love the chat. Appreciate you. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee is a beautiful place. It's kind of weird. It's definitely very different from California. So those 3 colleges are coming. If you go to one of those 3 colleges, just make sure that you get there and you sign in, because Ms. Crenshaw will give me the attendance link, and then you'll be done with your first part of your PC without even having to write anything down, which is awesome. So you should be good to go. If you're interested in any of those colleges, let me know, or let Ms. Crenshaw know. Cool. We are done with college rep visits. We are going to jump into the notes today. For our notes, you have 2 options. We are doing live action. That's with me. You can stay with me and learn all the things. You get to ask questions, etc. Or you can be team video. Team video, the video is posted on Canvas. Some of you might have even watched it already last night or early this morning. We are working on graphing linear inequalities today. So if you feel like you already know how to do this, that is awesome. And you can decide which you would like to choose. You should still take some type of notes, but I understand if your notes look a little bit different. Okay. All right, so we're gonna jump in. I am gonna transition over to my iPad so that you can, so that I can write as we go. If you are someone who's going to do team video, you can tune me out, stop listening. If you're going to do team live action, you need like a piece of paper and a pencil or pen, something to write with as we transition. All right. If you could, if you're going to be team live action, if you're going to stick around with me, if you go ahead and find your participants window, and if you could just give me a thumbs up, like a blue thumbs up, that'd be awesome. A blue thumbs up. Awesome. I see you, Amira. I see you, Amy. Sorry, Zephyr. I see you, Ashley. I see you, Elder. See you, Emiliano. See you, Gabby. See you, Joy. See you, Lillian. See you, Noemi. See you, Roxana. Awesome. I'm sure there are a few more. Oh yeah, I'm seeing lots of blue hands now. Awesome. Okay, super excited. Let me get this going here. All right. So I know that last week we were having a little bit of a trouble with these graphs. And I just beamed it to my TV. That's not helpful. Please hold. All right. Share screen, iPad. I know last week we were having some trouble with the graphing situation. Like, Miss, I don't have a nice graph on my thing, on my paper. Like, you have a nice graph. It is okay. You can go ahead and just sketch them. Like, we're not particularly worried about that. But I do want to make sure that there's some type of picture on there. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should be some type of something. Okay. Let me go ahead and move this around here. And grab my chat box back. If you are trying to mute me, just go ahead and turn down your volume on your. I realize that's weird. All right. All right. So I will try to both show like how to fill out this section here if you are someone who printed or already wrote this down, I'll also try to sort of show like what to write down if you are just writing on paper. So I'll try to show both of them here. So today we're graphing inequalities. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see the heart that I just put on there? No, okay, let's see. How about now? Can you see 2 hearts? Great, awesome. All right, so in the heart space, I'm gonna write what we should be writing. So if you don't have anything, we're gonna start with a title, graphing linear inequalities. All right. So when we're graphing linear inequalities, we're still thinking about straight lines because of the word linear. And with inequalities, instead of having an equal sign, we're going to have either the less than, or the greater than, the less than, the greater than or equal to, the less than or equal to. So our first step is we're going to make sure that the inequality is in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b. So I would write first step, y equals mx plus b. Want to double check that they're in mx plus b. So when I look at this first equation right here, y is less than x plus 2. Y is less than x plus 2. I'm going to say, okay, I see that this is in mx plus b, right? I have y equals mx plus b, right? Mx plus b, cool. So if I am, my next step, my second step, is to graph the boundary line using a dotted line for less than and greater than, and using a solid line for less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, if it's less than or greater, excuse me, hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all, caught in my throat there. All right, so if it's less than or greater than without the line, this is going to be our dashed line, right? We're going to do dash. And if it has the equal sign on there, less than or greater than, I'm sorry, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, this is going to be our solid line. Like that. So in this situation, I see that I have a less than sign. And so this is going to be dashed, or like a dash, 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 like that. All right. And then finally, it says if the graph is greater than or equal to, we're going to shade up. And if it's less than or equal to, we're going to shade down. So our third step is the shading. And if it's less than or equal to, we're going to shade down, because it's saying we want the numbers less than, and the numbers that are less than are below. If you think about the y-axis, the big numbers are at the top, the small numbers are at the bottom. So we want to shade down. And if we have greater than or equal to, we're going to shade up. So if I want to grade this, if I want to graph this, I want to make sure that I start with my B, right? So remember from last week when we were graphing equations, we want to start with the number that's by itself. So in this case, that number is 2. That's my y-intercept. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, and put a point there. I'm going to zoom in here for a second. 1, 2, and put a point here. 0.2. And then from there, I'm going to use my slope, which is the number in front of x. I know it's a 1 in this case, so it's 1 over 1 because every time that we have a whole number by itself, it's always over 1. So that's my slope. I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, so up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. I can even go up 2 over 2, up 2 over 2, up 2 over 2, like that. And then I'm going to go down and backwards as well. If I'm graphing this on my own over here, I might draw like 2 lines and then put a point right there. And then I might go up 1 over 1, put a point, up 1 over 1, put a point, up 1 over 1, put a point, like that. Same this way, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, like that. Okay. So that was our first step, was graphing the y equals mx plus b. Our second step is to decide if this is a dashed line or a solid line. Do you think this is a dashed line or a solid line? Hit up that chat. Dashed line or a solid line? Lisa said dashed, Suffer said dashed, for sure. So we have a dashed line, we already stated that, but we have a dashed line because it has the less than sign. There's no equal to here. So it's a dashed line like this. Still gonna put my arrows at the end. If you are on the graph, it looks like this. All right, and then the third step is the shading pieces. And if we have less than or equal to, we're gonna shade down. If we have more than or greater than or equal to, we're gonna shade up. So in this case, I see that we have less than, right? Because the it's facing away from the y. So we're gonna go ahead and shade down, yes. So I'm gonna take one of my points and shade down. Go to a point on the line, shade down. Go to a point on the line, shade down. Go to a point on the line, shade down. Go to the point on the line and then shade down. So now I can see, okay, it's that part of the graph. And so then I could color in all of this side of the graph, like that. So if you're on your own graph, go to a point, shade down. 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 And then you can go ahead and color in this whole side. So we're saying that any point that is over here, any point that's over here is a solution. So these are solutions over here. This is not solution, right? So anywhere that's shaded, that would be a solution. Anywhere that's not shaded is not a solution. Okay. All right. Let's try a second problem here. All right. If we have our equation like this, the first step is to put into y equals mx plus b, right? We want to get y by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and move x. What would I need to do in order to move negative x to the other side? You can come off mute or you can do it. Yeah. So it would be divide if we were trying to separate the negative from the x, right? Like they're tied together, they're being multiplied. But since it's being added here, since there's this addition sign here, in order to move the negative x over there, we need to add the x, right? We need to add the x like this, right? And that's because we're not trying to separate them, right? We're just trying to move it. So I'm adding x over here. Thanks, Roxana, for coming off mute. Thank you, Alan and Antoine, for putting in the chat. So we have 2y is greater than or equal to, I'm going to rearrange this to say x plus 4. Like that. X plus 4. I have a positive x and a positive 4, so they can go in whichever order. And then I still want to get x by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and, y by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 2. Everything divides by 2. It's going to leave me with y is greater than or equal to. Remember, there's a 1 in front of this x, so I could really say this is like 1/2 x plus 4 divided by 2 turns into 2. All right. Is there someone who is willing to come off mute to talk to us about how to graph this problem? How to graph this problem?
So we're gonna put the +2 on the graph.
+2. Where do I put +2 on the graph?
On the x-axis, the one that's going up. No, that's the y-axis actually. Those going up and down.
Yeah, the y-axis. So 1, 2. All right, I'm gonna put a point there.
Okay. And then and 1/2 is our rise advance, so we're gonna rise 1, and then go to the right 2 times.
So up 1 over 1, 2, like right here.
Yes, and then you're gonna keep on doing that.
Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, 1 over 2, 1 over 2. Amazing.
And then we're gonna go backwards, so we're gonna go down 1 to the left twice.
Okay. Down 1 to the left twice, down 1 to the left twice, backwards. All right. Thank you, Zephyr. Nayeli, I saw you raise your hand. Would you like to tell us if this is a solid line or a dashed line?
It's going to be a solid line because it's greater than or equal to.
Yeah, since it has that equal to sign, it's going to be solid. Cool. And then do you want to tell us how to shade or no?
Yeah, it's going to shade up because the inequality is going greater than.
Yeah, so since it's going greater than, we're going to shade up. So I'm going to go to a point, shade up, go to a point, shade up, go to any point, shade up, go to any point, shade up, any point, shade up. See, okay, it's shading up there. So then I'm going to go ahead and shade. I kind of shade like along the line first, so I try not to go over it, and then I just shade the rest of the graph. So then we have our solutions are up here, and these are not solutions. So any point over here would not be a solution. Cool. Okay, team, we are going to do one more, which is this one here, where it says x is greater than -4. X is greater than -4. So the way that I remember this is the x problem, I go on the x-axis to -4. So on the x-axis, which is this one, to -4, should be right here. Right? And then I have a bunch of points all up and down the line. Hurry up, hold on. All right, so it's going to be straight up and down, right? Straight up and down. Is there someone who'd like to come off mute to tell us if it is a dashed line or a solid line?
Dash.
A dashed line. Thank you, Amira. Absolutely. Amira, how did you know that it was a dashed line?
Because it's the sign is not solid. It don't have the line under it.
Yeah, good job. It doesn't have that equal line under it, right? So it's going to be dashed. It's going to be dashed straight up and down like this. Don't forget to put those arrows at the end. Thank you, Mira. And then is there someone who'd like to come off mute to tell us if we should shade to the left or to the right? There's not really an up or down here. This is weird, huh? What do you think? Does anybody have an idea?
You shade to the left
Why should I shade to the left?
because it's negative. -4.
Good question. Okay, so because it says -4, maybe we're shading to the left. I see some other people think that we should be shading to the left as well for in our chat. Does anyone think we should shade to the right? Nayeli, what are you thinking? Because it's greater than -4. Do you want to come off mute and tell us more than that? What do you mean?
Okay, well, I think that like it's to the right because since it's greater than -4, you're gonna want to shade everything on the everything that's greater than -4, which is going to the right.
Okay, so you're saying it's going to the right. Lillian, it looked like you were agreeing with Nayeli. Is that true?
Yeah, I was agreeing because with the other problems that we did the other day, all of our solutions are x, so x is on the right side because it's not.
Oh, we lost you on. I think you cut yourself off on the mute button, but that's okay. Yeah. So no, that's okay. No problem. I'm also getting a chat that says it's going to the right because all the numbers on the right are greater, right? So all these numbers over here are greater, right? And I love that, Wendy. Thank you. Yeah, guys, it's going to go to the right. And the reason it's going to go to the right is because we want to shade in the x's that are greater, right? The x's that are greater, the x's that are bigger than that number. So if my number is -4 and I want to shade the numbers that are bigger, then I want to shade a number like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the numbers all the way to positive infinity. I want to shade them in because those numbers are bigger than -4. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and shade this direction here. Thank you for that mathematical discussion. I think that's awesome. Nayeli is saying you can also go by what the inequality points to, the direction it points to. This is true. I do want to be careful of this. What Nayeli is saying is like, hey, check it out. This is like a little arrow, right? It's a little arrow. I want you to be very careful of that. That only works if the x is first, right? It only works if the x is first. So I want us to think more about like what this inequality means. Like x is greater than -4, so I want to shade to the greater than side. I would prefer for us to think about it that way, because if we wrote the same inequality like this, then the arrow would be pointing in the wrong direction, right? So we want to make sure that if we're going to do it that way, the x has to be on that side. Okay. Thank you, Nayeli, for that cheat code. So I just want to remind us, if we have x equals a number, it's going to be like straight up and down like this. And if we have y equals a number, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. So it's going to be flat line, horizontal line. Okay. Are there any questions from Alejandra, from Amira, from Zephyr, from Anna, from Ashley, from Chemaya, from Elder, from Ezra, from Gabby or Jasmine, Jennifer, Joy, Lenny, Ozzy, and Roxana? I know you guys were with us, so. All right, so today we learned about graphing inequalities. For your assignment today, you are going to do 4 different sort of parts here. So you have your notes section, which is going to be here. For part 1, you're not graphing. You're just deciding if it's solid or dashed, or if it's shaded up or shaded down. There's a question from the chat. It says, so it's only dashed if the x is in front. It's only dashed right. Nayeli was saying that like if it's like this, and the X is in front like that, then it would be dashed in this direction. If it's like this, if it's like that, then it would be dashed in this direction. If it's like this, it would be solid in this direction. If it's like this, it would be solid in that direction. But that's like just a trick that Nayeli has memorized and maybe some other people have memorized. I want to move us away from that trick, but I like that idea. Okay. So there is an example here. It's one of the examples is already done for you for part 1, but like for this one, we'd say, okay, my y is over here. I would move the x over. I would divide by 4, and that's going to give me y by itself. But really, what I care about is only this right here. Right? It says that it is less than. So speed chat, would I do shade up or shade down if it's less than? Shade up or shade down if it's less than? Shade down. Yeah, thanks for that speedy chat. So that would be shade down. So I would go ahead and highlight this one right here. You can even delete up if you want. So I'd highlight down. And then since it's or equal to, it's less than or equal to, would that be a solid line or a dashed line? Solid. Yeah, it would be solid. Nyla, you're killing it in the chat today. It would be solid and down. Right? Then I'd be done with number 1 and move on, do the same thing for number 2. So that is a part of part 1. For part 2, you have an IXL. Many of you are already actually started on it from Miss Velasquez's class, I would imagine. So you might be started, but make sure that you're going to the appropriate score. So my star friends, you're going to 60. My on-track friends, you're going to 75. My honors friends, you are going to 90. If you don't remember which bucket you're in, you can ask me, I'll tell you. And then finally, we have another checkpoint form. It is 4 questions all about inequalities. That's just going to let me know where you're at, how you're doing, and let you get some ACT practice. Are there any questions about the 4 or the 3 parts of your assignment today? No questions? No. Cool. Alrighty then. During the practice time, you have a couple options. If you want to stay and keep working with me, we will keep working for the next 5 minutes together. If you want to work independently, you can do that. If you get stuck later today, we do have office hours at 3:30. So if you would like to drop by at 3:30, I'll be available for office hours. In the meantime, go ahead and find your assignment 7 on Canvas. Find your assignment 7 on Canvas, and then we'll get started. We have part 1, we already did. Down and solid, down and solid. Go ahead and take away those thumbs up. Take away those thumbs up from the participants window. And then go ahead and, oh, actually I can do it. Great, excellent. Go ahead and give me a check mark. Give me a check mark if you would like to stay with me and keep working. Otherwise, you are free. You're free to go. Give me a check mark. Cool. Thanks, Joy, for that check mark. Thanks, Melanie, for that check mark. Thanks, Firas. Thanks, Jasmine. Thanks, Desiree. Thanks, Zephyr. Bye, Natalie. Brandon, the notes are on Canvas. The notes are on Canvas, so you can go see the notes on Canvas again. Okay, Gabby, thank you. Bye, Tony. I'll see you at office hours. Okay, team, let's work together for these last 5 minutes on the assignment. Talk to me about number 2. Talk to me about number 2. What should we do here? Right, what should we do here if we have a greater than symbol? Greater than symbol. Talk to me, Alexia, talk to me. What are you thinking? If we have a greater than symbol, how should we shade up or shade down? Oh, Alexia left us. All right, Desiree, talk to us. Should we shade up or should we shade down?
We should shade up.
How are you remembering that you should shade up? Do you just like have it memorized, or is there like a way that you remember?
I just have it memorized.
Yeah, okay. So greater than shading up, right? I like to think like, okay, if I'm gonna be greater than someone, or if I'm gonna like get taller than someone, then I'm gonna like rise up, right? So I would say shade up for sure. All right, and then I see that this is greater than. Talk to me, Jasmine. Would this be solid or dashed? Jasmine is no E.
It would be dashed.
It'd be dashed. How do you know?
Because the equal symbol isn't under it.
The equal symbol is not under it. Yeah, there's no equal sign underneath. For sure, for sure, for sure. Amazing. Talk to me. No, Gabby, talk to me, Gabby. On this next one, it says greater than or equal to. Would this be shade up or shade down?
Shade up.
Shade up. How do you know?
Because I just have it memorized.
Okay, because it's greater than, for sure. For sure. Okay, it seems like we are good on these ones. Zephyr, do you want to talk to us about the last one? Would we be solid or dashed for this line?
It would be solid because there's an equal line under the equation.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for speaking to that. It looks like we are good on this type of problem. Do we have any specific questions for how to complete part one or how to work through the IXL? For the IXL, I attached a video, so there is this video here to help on that specific IXL. For the IXL, you're just going to basically like plot that first point, plot the next point, and it will automatically make the line for you. You're going to click on this line. Like if you click on the line, it will tell you if it's solid. It will like change from solid to dashed, right? To be able to change it from solid to dashed. And then you'll click in the space. So like if it's shade up, you'll click up here and that will shade the whole thing. And if you mess up, you just click again and it will go away and it will like reset for you. Okay, so the IXL is pretty like, I think self-explanatory, but if you get stuck, don't forget that the video is there for you. All right, team. We're going to transition into pre-calculus. So if you have any questions for me, you can throw them in the chat. And then if you have any additional questions for me, I'll be here at office hours at 3:30. Otherwise, guys, it was a great morning and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Thanks for
Bye,
sticking
Miss. Have a
around.
wonderful day.
Bye, CVAC. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Adios. Bye-bye. Joshua, I love your GIF that you have as your background. Your little like avatar. Good morning, pre-calculus. Nebu, you're good to go.